Hello, today we're going to be driving a vehicle on the Nürburgring. It's got rear wheel drive, a V8 engine and a manual gearbox, but what is it? Is it a Ford Mustang GT350R with a flat plane crank V8? Is it perhaps a Chevy Corvette, the ZR1 from the C6 generation that was the very first Corvette to ever break 200 miles an hour? Is it maybe even an E92 M3 with an absolutely gorgeous sounding 4-litre V8? No, it's a set of airport stairs based on the Ford F350 chassis that came out in 1967, and I think it was about 1974 or thereabouts. I don't know too much about it, until which they made it up to. This specifically is going to be from 1969, and it weighs 4,000 kilograms, so 4 tons, and it has about 230 horsepower if I remember correctly. So not a great power to weight ratio there, but a lot of weight over the rear wheels, a lot of weight up high, which gives you a sort of roly-poly tendency. So we'll have a look at it and see how it handles, and we'll also see what time can it set on the Nordschleife. Okay, so here we are. As you can see, we've got a lot of weight pushing down on the rear wheels, which I imagine will give us a lot of traction coming out of corners. Not that this is really going to spin up its rear wheels. Anyway, something I really love about this generation of trucks that you got in the US, and it's not saying anything that's specific to the F350 or any of the heavy duty sort of F series of this generation, is the wing mirrors. The fact that they've got like 4 different spokes holding them on, it just looks tough, and you know, playing into Ford's mantra of built tough. But of course other trucks used it as well. You can see how square everything looks up front there, the big chrome bumper that goes right the way across, and those orange lights at the top. I love the way that looks. If you look at it as well, you can see relative to where the driver is, you'd have to sort of go like that and look up just to see at what point, you know, the stairs were going to make contact with the plane. I just imagined, you know, somebody one day coming into work feeling a bit rough, not looking really where they're going and driving to the side of the plane. It's probably happened before. But if I go into the driver's view now and start the lap, I'm anticipating, because of the huge weight of this thing, that braking in a straight line, the ABS or lack thereof won't really be an issue. However, going around corners it might be. And I'm also thinking as well, I'm going to have to make all my braking zones really, really long as well. Because even though we won't be able to get up to a great deal of speed, it's going to take us a long time to stop. Coming out here to the Bilstein sign on the left hand side. Can I take this flat-ish, a lot of adjustments in steering wheel around the corner there. I think we're really going to have to watch it for this rolling over, which it felt like it was about to there. Try to get all my braking done in that section. I swear that was up on 2 wheels again. We'll have to have a look at the replay to see if it was. There's a lot of other areas of this track that are perhaps a lot more demanding than that section there was. Oof, a bit wide there. So if I went up on 2 wheels there, I really hope that we don't roll right the way over at a different part of the track. In fact, the one corner that I'm particularly nervous about is that long straight. Well, not the long straight, but rather the corner that takes you onto the long straight. That's a sort of 2-section corner where you have the initial turn in, then you straighten up a little bit, and then you turn in once again, and you have to stay completely flat going onto the straight. I think for the first turn in, I'm a little bit nervous about that one. I'm also kind of nervous as well about Foxhole. I don't know what the negative G is going to do in terms of making that high up weight become destabilised, that centre of mass, and make it roll over to the, well, trying to turn left, going right. And what we're up to just now, just shy of 100 miles an hour, which is actually quite impressive really, for what it is. And let's try not to go to the outside here of the track. Doing my braking once again in a straight line, 4-speed gearbox, so we're going to come down to 2nd gear. Given the kind of life that this truck would have lived, I don't know what's the point of having a 4-speed gearbox, even if you just fine. I know that might sound odd today, but back in the 1960s it wasn't uncommon to see vehicles with a 3-speed gearbox. Because, you know, in real life these things would have topped out in daily usage about 30 miles an hour, 35 miles an hour. They're not going to be going much faster than that now, are they? Okay, this is a little bit I was nervous about. I completely cut the corner because I was that nervous about it. Not that you could do that now with Vauxhall if you're driving it in 2024 in real life on the Nürburgring, because they made that corner super steep, I think, to try and slow down the flow of traffic. Ooh. That was a nervous moment again. I just seen the whole world just go sideways. Okay. Where are we now? So, a little bit of a boring straight section before we get to this high-speed corner here, which I'm going to come right to the right-hand side of the track, lift off the throttle a little bit to try and get the nose into that apex, which actually worked out very well. Hugging the inside here, usually it's only be about now where you actually hit the apex there on the left-hand side of most vehicles, but this isn't too manoeuvrable. I can't adjust the front nose of it around too much, and that was another corner there. Usually you would apex really late on in the corner, but I just sort of stayed at a constant distance from the apex just because I didn't want to hit the curb and flip it, but I can't really go wide into a corner and then apex late without going really slow in this. Now onto the downhill braking, we're doing 73 miles an hour. Back onto the throttle just to try and get rid of that speed for the slowest corner of the track. And can we take this exit to the corner flat? Open differential, can feel the rear wheels, sort of, one of them slipping. I'd imagine probably the inside one. Brake quite early here. Oh. That steering wheel was making me lock up, so I had to come on and off the brake very quickly. Let's see if we can get a fast exit to this corner. Here we are, 46 miles an hour. At some point we'll get to 60 miles an hour, there we are. Now going fast enough to enlist a speeding ticket in the UK on a dual carriageway. I'm going to use this sign here on my right hand side as my braking reference. Can I late apex it to carry some speed out of this corner, which is going to be essential for this long uphill section. And the thing is, that's actually a really difficult corner we've just come out of there. Because I don't know about you, but when I'm going around that corner I tend to anticipate it ending earlier than it does, and then I get into the corner and I think to myself, you know what, it's actually going to end a bit later than it does. I just really struggle to get the balance right with that corner. I'm probably not the only person who finds that. And this is a deceptive corner because of the trees on the left hand side. Everyone thinks you need to lift for it there, but you actually don't. Just because you can't really see where you're going, it's just because of the trees you can actually take it flat on most cars in the dry. And while we're waiting on this, going up the hill, let's just see how the horn sounds. So the standard Assetto Corsa horn. I don't know what I was expecting, maybe it was like a Dixie horn or something I had in my mind. And this is completely flat as well because we're being very brave. 63 miles an hour. Usually it'd be well over 100 in a road car. Then again, I wonder how this would compare to a normal vehicle in the 1960s. I mean, I know we think about, you know, the Mustang Boss 302 and the Chevy Chevelle SS and all those kind of muscle cars that we associate with the US as this set of airport status is from of that era. However, I wonder, just a regular car, like a Ford Falcon, mid-spec, that people were driving in the 1960s in the US, how would that compare to this in the way it drives? I'm coming up to the carousel now. I'm really hoping that the banked corner of the carousel, this tarmac, is going to counter this vehicle's tendency to roll over, which is actually doing quite nicely. I'm going around here at 36 miles an hour. Whoa. And I came out the carousel a little bit early, felt the wheels on the left hand side lift up a little bit. And this corner up here as well, not this first set of apex on the right, but the set on the left there, we're going to go around here completely flat as well. So, some cars you can do that in real life, some you can't. I should mention as well, I'll leave the link to this mod for Assetto Corsa in the description of the video, so that you can have a go at lap time yourself. Oh, going a bit wide there. I changed down to second gear there to try and use my engine braking and tuck in the front nose of the truck to stop that understeer effect. And I have a feeling I'm going to understeer again through this section here when I turn right. Am I? Just ignore that. You know what? Any other vehicle, I would have restarted it. However, I mean, we're 8 minutes in and look where we are. This is this is a lot of time taken up. So I don't really want to start that again and lose that 8 minutes of my life. Unless I have another crash, in which case you will. Go wide again. I'm not going to count that as a crash. Using all the track is what I'll count that as. Down second gear again there. I don't want to risk understeering into that gravel. And this is going to be a kind of funny corner here because, you know, typically you lay apex it. Am I going to do that right? Yeah, I did. Trying to form that straight line exit over this little crest here. Coming out there. And this downhill area here, I'm going to build up a lot of speed, a lot of momentum in this big heavy vehicle. Are we going to get air? I don't know actually. I'd imagine if you're driving this in real life, you'd be able, you'd be all over the place inside this, because if you look to the right, you can see you've got a sort of bench seat, but it's hard to tell on the screen if we left the ground there. It does feel a bit like driving a bouncy castle almost. I imagine this sort of action on the seat and holding on to the wheel for dear life. Up to 80 miles an hour now in the staircase. Come to the middle of the track for this corner here. And let's use this mini carousel again to get as much speed as we can around the corner. I say that like we're going about 80 miles an hour, we're doing 40. I'm anticipating that this lap's going to take around 12 minutes, I think. Somewhere between 12 minutes and 12 minutes 10. This is a really sketchy bit that I was worried about there. The reason why I was worried about that is because the tarmac dips on the inside of the corner, so it tends to have this effect of flipping the car up as you exit it. And here we are completely flat here, coming up to the bridge that normally you'd finish your timer at if you were doing a tourist lap. And if we use this rear view, I just want to point out how high up that rear view is. It's almost like we're standing on the top of the stairs. Can you imagine that? Doing a lap of the Nürburgring, we're standing in the back of this thing. It'd be dangerous, but it'd be fun. Going past the cafe on the right hand side now, and the parking area. Yeah, not a lot really happens on this straight, in this thing at least. But I'm going to start moving to the right hand side of the track to give myself the best run under Bilstein Bridge and down into the dip. Actually, I hadn't anticipated this braking area as well. I'm slightly concerned about that. It's coming up when we hit the right apex. Actually, to be fair, we're only doing 7 miles an hour, so we don't actually need to worry too much about it. See, that's the funny thing. Some of these driving this, you think, oh no, you know, most cars struggle with this, but because you're going so much slower, it sort of doesn't. But other areas it really does, like this sharp corner here, where we've just straightened up, we're going to immediately turn it right again. And here we are across the line in 12 minutes 17 seconds. Okay, so I hope that's answered the question that is very much on the lips of the nation right now. How fast can airport stairs lap the Nürburgring? If you did enjoy this video, keep an eye out on this channel. I'll have another one coming at some point shortly, maybe in the next week or so, maybe a little bit more, maybe less, don't know. But nonetheless, I'll see you soon. Bye.